how spirituality can be fun. I welcome you today to our amazingly wonderful Woohoo Wednesday. I am Devi Jade, and this is my beautiful partner. Well, not like that partner, but yes, my partner that I love sincerely.
Here, give me a high five.
Oh, I think we're going the right way.
Yeah.
You know how that goes, you guys. We're on this side. Yeah, we're totally like the girlfriend partners.
Absolutely. And, sometimes we do these topics and you guys ask questions and it's really heavy, but today we just wanted to have fun. So I said, well, let's just talk about how spirituality can be fun. And Jade was like, yeah, because it can, because we have a lot of fun together. But why the heck do people take it so seriously all the time? It doesn't have to be like somber.
I wonder if that comes from a real patriarchal sense of this is the way that it's supposed to be, and it's that whole thing of like the square thing of like, you must only pray this way. I mean, it really does come from some sort of a authoritarian type of feel, and got nothing to do with who we are. I guess it was just somebody somewhere made it up, and it just unfortunately stuck. And we've been doing it ever since. So yeah, so we're gonna have fun today, you guys.
There was this one time that the church that my family belongs to has Sunday evening services that used to be in the fellowship hall. And so it was like, chairs lined up and like, it's like the banjo service, instead of, like a whole high, holy, solemn service. And my little girl, who was 2 years old at the time, would dance and dance. I used to sit up in the front row because, front row, pay attention. I'm the front row geek. I always sit in the front row. So that I can't be distracted. And, when the music would start, she would twirl and dance, and I didn't want her to distract other people. So I stopped her. And after church, one of the ministers walked up to me and said, don't ever stop her from dancing to the music. She's actually, that is the way that she's praying and rejoicing in everything that she has. But me with my, dogmatic background of stop the child from being disruptive in church. And so that was a huge lesson to me. Like, don't stop the child from being disruptive in church when it's in flow with what's happening. Like, get out of your box that you've shoved your mind into.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Well, Dr. Jane was telling me that her husband watched a few of our little podcasts, because of course we have to have our supporter, our numero uno supporter. You better support. And he was mentioning, that, I don't know, I did something, I think the boob one or something, I don't know. And
or your leg, like you did one.
and he's like, why doesn't she do that more? But the thing is when I'm with people at one-on-one, and I'm in my office, the people downstairs and around in the office, it's got a little bit of thinner walls, I guess, but I have a pretty good laugh, as you guys know. They're always wondering why my clients are laughing in there. And they're not, they do that too. But to me, we get a lot more, and we learn a lot more, and we receive a lot more when we're having a good time. When we're laughing about stuff. And oh my gosh, I have to find something funny. And so I'll tell you guys what happened the other day. So we were in our class, because once a month we all get together in our this amazing mastermind class. And I was sitting there and I was listening and la la la, and I decided that I was going to show everybody how wonderful I was making my nice shake. So because I was so healthy, I never take my laptop over to the blender. And so I was making it because I wanted them to see me, when I had my drink. And the whole thing, the top exploded, and it was blueberry haven all over the kitchen. It was everywhere.
Oh, is that why you were logged in twice at one point? I was like, why are there two Jades?
Well, what happened, that's something else altogether. But no, what happened was all of a sudden I went out, and one of the other people in the group said, hey girl, where are you? What happened to you? Well, behind the scenes, it took me like 40 minutes to clean this up. I felt like I was in Willy Wonka's chocolate factory. That blueberry girl blew up. Yeah,
Beauregard.
it was everywhere. And I like, oh my gosh. And I don't have a lot of cleaners in this place because the person that I was living with, she pretty much confiscated them. All I had was my handy dandy cleaner, window cleaner from Costco that can clean your whole face off of your face. So I was spraying it on the carpet and I was scrubbing it. And we were all talking about this spiritual stuff that we're supposed to be doing. And when I came back on, because we were like, okay, it's question and answer time. And when I finally came on, I said, well, I don't really have a comment today, but this is what happened. And I purposely told it. And I had our teacher, that's a spiritual master, laughing hysterically.
Oh, he's so funny.
He was laughing at it. Was really funny, you guys. So any kind of thing that happens, I do what I can to, like, turn it around and make it funny. And because laughter really is the best medicine. So,
and I mean, just think about the times when you feel most in flow in your life. You're not miserable. Like you're fun, you're happy, you're in flow, your vibe is high. And so find ways to have fun with it. I had this conversation with one of my aunts fairly recently, a few months ago, and because she was just taking something very seriously, something that I had said or posted or whatever had offended her. And I was like, this, and we talked about this a little bit in the Does God Have a Sense of Humor Woo Woo Wednesday that we did. Yes. I mean, of course, because why would humor and happiness and laughter exist if it didn't come from creation?
Right. Okay, so I have another one. So I don't know why this came to me, but for whatever reason, my daughter is like, I don't know what it is with you, Mom, but every single time, it doesn't matter what zoo we go to, and I think it happened in Bali too, the mandrills fall in love with me. And I told them in Bali, I said, watch this, these mandrills are going to fall in love with me. And there was a huge one. And that guy just came strutting his stuff up to Devi Jade. Hey, baby, look at what I got. Do you remember that? I said, I
like that monkey that liked me. I was this person. He wouldn't like, and that guide was like, don't touch the monkeys. And I was like, he's holding my fingers.
It was really funny. So when we go there, and not only that, but they start flirting with me. It's like, what is up with me and these mandrills? I don't know. It's them in particular. And the biggest ones will come right up the cage and they just are there. But I have, I think another thing that happened to me. Now you're probably wondering, well, what does this have to do with spirituality? Well, okay. So I'll take it on a serious note really quick. If a person's having a moment and their energy's really starting to go, I'm very compassionate. I don't just cut them off and, let's go over in this direction. I sit, and when they say something that can be turned into something they can laugh at themselves or whatever's going on, then that's why when some little thing will slip in there and they'll realize, oh, I am playing the victim role, or oh, I am doing this, and it lightens them up too, so that they can now, that energy that was in there just literally pops right out, which is really great. So it is fun. I think
it can be fun if you let it be fun.
Absolutely. I mean, there's really so many funny things that occur. Oh my God, I'm telling you.
Well, I mean, I think it all comes back to mindset. And you're like, I don't know what this has to do with spirituality. Everything does. And everything has to do with spirituality and mindset, because we're spiritual beings with minds.
Oh yeah. The funniest on the earth are little children. They are hysterical. Oh, do you really want to hear one? Oh my God. I hope my daughter never hears this. I have to tell this story.
Which one? I'll send her the link.
No, but this is so funny. Okay, so I have this beautiful little granddaughter. She's just old enough that I'm teaching her how to wash her body parts, right. Yeah. And so now she goes, I'll say it's left, right, center, left, right, center, left, right, center. So now she knows what to do, but that isn't the end of it. So you're talking to the girl that likes everything lean and everything clean. Okay, So she goes to her mom and she's showering with her mom and she looks down between and her mom and she says, Mom, you got to get rid of that. That's cobwebs. You got to get that out of there. And
Cobwebs.
because her eye level is right there on both.
Yes.
It was so, and she said it right on the phone when me and my daughter were talking. And we literally like laid ourselves out. If you can imagine a little 4-year-old saying that, you got to get rid of those cobwebs, Mom. It's like, what the hell?
Listen to her.
Little kids come up with the funniest. Oh my God.
They do. They do. I think that if somebody, honestly, Jade, and we've talked a couple times about going to Bali together, and there were a couple of times that we did just like this chanting and dancing, and it was so much fun, and it was just mayhem. And you know, these people who are 30, 40, 50, 60 years old just acting like we're 8, and it was amazing. And it was so much fun, and literally end up just like rolling on the floor, on the ground, in the grass, in laughter, and like having a good time. I think that we've had the fun squeezed out of us and like taught out of us, and everybody has to be so serious and understand everything that's going on. And you're kind of missing the point sometimes. So like give your spirit a vacation and like just go be a kid with, you know, like within reason. Like one of my neighbors, I have a trampoline in my yard. And the other day, no one was awake yet. And I was just kind of stiff in the morning. And I usually do my exercising and everything first thing in the morning, but I was just kind of feeling stiff and I was having a hard time getting going. And it was around 5 a.m. And I thought, you know, I might go jump on the trampoline at 5 a.m. And I did by myself. And I was like doing toe touches and all these other things. It was so fun. And then I do like, you know, the cannonball thing where you like just go down in a ball and then you jump back up on your feet. And I was just having so much fun. And one of my neighbors who runs in the mornings saw me. And later that afternoon, she was like, were your kids up with you at 5 o'clock in the morning? I was like, no, why? And she's like, well, you were on your trampoline. And I'm like, I know.
That's so cute.
Why? But like we have these ideas that like, you know, a 40-year-old woman can't go jump on a trampoline by herself. Yes, I can.
That's right. And she's Southern. She can do it.
I can. I can.
So
and
I have another one. So we have this group that I get with like every week. And oh my God, it was so funny. So we're talking about, I don't exactly know how the comment came up, but I said something about, oh yeah, it's like cow chips. And one of the girls is so young, not that young, but she's like, what's a cow chip? Well, we could have cucumber chips. And I'm telling you, it's like, who doesn't know what the hell?
But she also lives in the city. She's
I don't care.
I mean, there's probably some people on here that are like, what is a cow chip?
I know, but I cannot tell you how hysterical. We were laughing like crazy, and she had a big question like what did I say? And that made it funnier because it's like, girl, do you not know what a cow chip is? Well, no. Is it edible? It's like, no, it's
I mean, I don't recommend it.
Oh my God, that was the things that people say that can crack you up.
But I mean, the funny thing about that is when you meet with that group, that's a spiritual conversation that's going on. And somehow you got on cow chips and cucumber chips.
I know, right? So maybe I'll put those over my eyes. I won't have to see all, well, no, the shit will be right. I mean, the shit will be right in front of me. No, I better.
Let me know how that turns out for you.
So yeah, just anything, you know, and she could have been really offended by that. And it wasn't, because it's all done in love. So for me, I, you know where your laughter is coming from. I mean, if you're really, another little serious note, if you're laughing because you're nervous, then obviously that's something to look at. But a cow chip, I mean, honestly, there's so many funny stories that people do. They're really, really funny. So I embrace it. I'm going to go with Jane. And when I get to meet her and you hear the neighbor go, what in the world were you women doing? We're going to go, woohoo, woohoo.
It's so so fun. I love jumping on that trampoline. Like, I love it. It's so fun and it's good for you. I don't know why this story just popped into my head, but it was so funny. And I've always felt a little bit mean laughing at it. But, so I've been really like open about the way that I was raised, like religiously, spiritually. Like, it's just very, speak when spoken to, don't bat an eye in church, like don't breathe wrong, certainly don't laugh because God's very serious and, we're sinners and we have to, works based. So anyway, the flavor of Catholic church that I grew up in, we always covered our heads like with either lace, they call them mantillas, either lace or a hat or something. Women's head was always covered. And this one time, there was an older lady who she always sat way up front. She was very sweet, but she would fall asleep in church and she'd always wear this big straw hat every time. Like that was her head covering every time. And I mean, I always had my same little lace head covering that my mom had given me, but she would fall asleep. And so we could always tell when she started to fall asleep because you'd see the straw hat, like.
That's hilarious.
And it was constant. It was like constant through church. And I mean, it would always make me laugh. And my mom would be like, stop laughing. I think I was like 16 or 17. And, you'd see the straw hat. Well, there was one church service where the altar guild was going to be honored. And the altar guild is ladies of the church who take care of all the linens and everything. They launder them every week and they're kind of on rotation and they iron them, make sure that the priest's clothing, his vestments are clean and whatnot. So they were going to they usually honored the altar guild once a year. And this sweet lady was on the altar guild. And so the way that they honored the altar guild members was those ladies were in reserve out in the vestibule, and they were given candles and they just kind of proceeded up the center aisle and then sat in the front row. My mom was one of them. And Mama was not sitting right next to, I cannot even remember the lady's name, but the lady with the big straw hat. It was like a sun hat. I mean, it's not completely inappropriate, a little bit big maybe for church, but she was just a quirky old Southern lady, and quirky old Southern ladies can wear big straw hats and it's normal. So I'm sitting toward the back with my dad, who also falls asleep a lot in church. Like he always has my whole life. I just remember my mom like elbowed me to stop laughing, elbowed him to stop falling asleep. There were just lots of elbows being thrown by my mom. And I wanted to be like, will you pay attention to the church and not us? But so we see this straw hat starting to, and this woman's holding a candle. And I'm like, so we see it come up, and then a little while later, I see smoke. And I'm like, I'm at the very back of the church with my dad, and there's like just this one little line. It's like a cartoon, like this one little line of smoke coming up from this lady's hat. And then all of a sudden there's a flame. And I'm like, do we run up there? And then the woman next to her like takes her church book or whatever and just goes, whack. She was sleeping. Her hat was on fire, and then she gets pummeled by the woman next to her.
Oh my God, that's so funny.
So she's fine. Like her hair didn't catch on fire. It was just the brim of her hat. Shade the next week. Next Sunday, and she was a short little lady, like this little short lady, and I'm 5'9", my mom's like 5'8".
So funny.
I'm sitting next to my mom in church the next week, and the little lady comes in with the same hat on and a big flower. Sunflower right over the hole.
Oh my gosh. How could you not laugh at that?
Oh, my mom and I had to leave the church. I was bawling. I was laughing so hard. And when we laugh, like we have those really annoying silent laughs. And then when we breathe, we're like, oh, so like our whole pew was shaking. Oh my gosh. It was the funniest.
That is the best story ever. Oh my gosh. Thank you so much. Oh my God. See you guys. Oh my gosh.
And I felt so evil the week before with that one little smoke and then the flaming.
That was, you could just see it's like a cartoon.
But the flower, I mean, the flower.
That's awesome.
She was old way back then, and that was like 20 years ago. So like certainly,
oh my God, that's a good one.
Certainly,
oh
she's
my
in
gosh,
her
you
resting
guys.
place now. But oh, that was a good laugh.
That was
That's all we
great.
did.
So, you know, every week, you know, you guys come laugh with us, you know, be intense with us. And we're all here to love you to the depths of us with a whole bunch of laughter wrapped around that. So take care. And I'm going to let her finish because she's got a line she likes to do.
I do.
I haven't
I always
memorized it yet.
I like to remind everybody to give us a thumbs up if you like Jade, if you like me, if you think that that story about the hat was funny. Anything, give us a thumbs up.
Funny, absolutely.
Give us a thumbs up if you liked listening to Jade talk about how to clean yourself properly. If you learned anything.
Left, right, left side, right side, middle, left side, right side, middle, and get rid of those cobwebs.
Yeah, no cobweb zones. But make sure that you do give us a thumbs up. Just let us know you've enjoyed it. Leave any questions or comments that you want down in the comment section, and we will answer every single one of them, we promise, and give you a little bit of love. And make sure that you hit that subscribe button and the little bell, because then when you are back on YouTube, you will learn when we have dropped another Woo Woo Wednesday, and you can come laugh with us. See you next time.